Hey Steve, how you doing today? Pleasure to have you again on the show.
Yeah, doing pretty good, Eddie. Long time no speak. How have you been?
It's been a minute, everything good so far. And actually today I wanted to ask you a few questions specifically about your managed account executive team's service so that buyers viewing this service in the Cloudtos marketplace, they can decide whether they want to invite you for an interview for their service request or not. Three questions as usual that I want to cover. The first one is going to be, what are the components of this service offer, your managed account executive teams?
All right, well, let's go for it. So, to that question, I think it makes sense to start and why start with why you shouldn't use this service. If you're a founder who hasn't attempted to show product market fit yet, don't outsource it. Right, do it yourself and prove that you can have some form of success closing business, and we've got some form of proven methodology or messaging, right, to maybe 20% close rate before you look to outsource it. If you're not doing that because you don't think you can sell, maybe take some guidance and try and do it yourself. If you are somebody who's proven that you can get sales with your product and you have a methodology that can be taught and transferred, but you just can't scale, you don't have the bandwidth, you're not ready to have it in-house, think about outsourcing your AE team to a group of experts. Now, as part of this service, you're going to get a fully dedicated resource or a team of resources who will sell your product on your behalf. However, you must be able to generate some pipeline for these people to talk to, do the discovery with, and take it through to close. So if you don't have a system that is creating enough leads to fill you up yourself, and then in turn an extra person, this is not the right service for you. But if you create enough demand and you've proven that you can close business, you just need to scale quick and you don't have the bandwidth to do it yourself or hire people, consider using a partner who's an expert in that service. We provide a tool stack if you don't have one, which we use Salesforce in-house. We have a dialer, we have Cadence tools, we have call recording and call coaching technologies in place. Or we can plug into your tech stack if that's the way you want to play it.
Wonderful. Now, are there specific platforms or software you use to provide this service?
Usually for the AE as a service, the client would want us to work within their ecosystem or their tech stack, which might comprise of Gong. But what we tend to use is a power dialer. We use Zoom. We use various call coaching softwares. But the majority of our customers in this particular model want us to plug into their tech stack so we can see it through to the close.
Perfect. Now, that leads me to my next question. You kind of hinted at this already. What's normally the situation when you sign up clients for this service offer as opposed to something else in your portfolio? You were mentioning earlier if they have proven success. Is there any other characteristics that make them or a buyer better fit for this service or not a good fit for this service?
If you've got a very transactional average contract value, this is not right for you because you shouldn't be invested in human capital to sell. You might want to invest in people to come to your website and self-service. So we're looking for a reasonably high ACV, maybe $50,000 and above, push 30K and above. And you need to be in a situation where you've created some form of demand that needs an account exec to follow it up, and you're not able to do it yourself. And you've proven that you can close business with the right personas in the right situation. So it's right for people with a fairly high ACV who've got product market fit, who are now looking to take the next stage of their growth. It's not right for somebody who doesn't understand who would buy it, or they haven't proven someone would buy it, who actually should be selling it themselves, just scared, and they haven't created enough demand yet to warrant having more team members or spend on team members.
Makes sense. All right. So my last question for today, Steve, is what can a client expect in the first 120 days of buying this service?
Okay, well, we've got a fairly quick ramp, so we want to ramp it within the first 30 days. But the first couple of weeks will be understanding what success looks like, to you what you're looking for in terms of ROI on the campaign and what you believe were the early indicators of success, and we'll look at modeling that out over the 90. We're going to have multiple meetings around the onboarding of your tech. We're going to have multiple meetings around what you perceive is a successful methodology or some examples of what you've done in the past, or maybe review some of your recordings. That goes in line with the selection of the account exec and the onboarding of that account exec. Now, this service does require a little bit more bandwidth from the point of contact, because we're going to need to understand through backwards and forwards communication with the team surrounding the AE, the customer success managers and the team managers, in order to find out from you what is working and get feedback on our calls, our demos, and our processes and materials. So in the initial first 30 days, it's going to be a little bit more heavy lifting for the point of contact. Post that, it's going to be a weekly meeting. We provide dashboard reporting around any analytics you want via Salesforce dashboards, as well as the call recordings provided if we're not working in your systems. By month 2, we're hoping to see good initial indicators in terms of pipeline creation, and depending on your average deal cycle, if it's only 30 to 60 days, we should start seeing some closed business by month 2. If it's longer than that, we're looking at pipeline creation in the first 90 days.
Gotcha. Now, when you mentioned we will look into pipeline creation, is that a different service or is that within the service?
That's a different service. So we do also have 360 account execs, which are people who self-generate appointments and take them through to close on your behalf. And it could be something that's a little bit more transactional, or it could be something that the rep has a little bit more bandwidth in terms of the amount of meetings they're going to do on a daily basis. So they're able to self-generate and prospect within our tech stack, or it's right for a customer who doesn't have a lot of inbound demand, or doesn't have a lot of existing customers for us to contact or upsell. So it's a slightly different service for a different type of customer.
Okay, perfect. That makes sense, Steve. Thank you so much for providing more details around your managed account executive teams, so that buyers viewing this service in the CloudTest Marketplace can decide whether they want to invite you for an interview for their service request or not. Steve, I'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.